Hello, Mateo. Your lunchbox was made by your wife again today, right? I'll eat it for you.
Sorry, but I already ate it.
What? What do you mean you already ate it? But lunch break just started.
I told our department head that you were stealing my lunchboxes these last few days, and he let me take my lunch break 15 minutes earlier than anyone else.
What? You told our manager? But I was so looking forward to your lunch today.
Please stop messing around, Stella. Why do you always try to take my lunchbox?
Because I don't bring my own lunchbox.
There's a cafeteria in the office, and there's even a convenience store that's only a minute walk from here.
It's such a hassle. And besides, it costs money, right?
That's not my problem.
What? You're being so mean, Mateo. I've told you this several times already, but I'm a single mother and have 3 children. I have to take care of them, so I need to save money and time in whatever way I can. Don't you get it? That's why I always take your lunchbox. We need to help each other in whatever way we can.
Alright, but why always me then? It still wouldn't be okay if you did this to another person, though.
That's simple. Because your wife makes the best lunchboxes around here. You see, I helped myself for a sampling of everyone's lunchboxes on my first day here, and your wife's food was by far the best.
Okay. I'll tell her you like her food, I guess, but when have you ever helped me, Stella?
Don't I always help you out with work? Oh, and don't tell her that I liked her food.
Alright. But don't you always just make a mess and I have to take care of it by doing overtime?
Come on. You're being so mean, Mateo. I can't help it if I make a few mistakes after all. I've only been here for a few weeks.
Anyways, we're getting off topic. The lunchbox I bring to work is something that my wife made for me. She doesn't make these so you can eat them, Stella.
I know. Why not just ask your wife to make a lunchbox for me as well? That way I won't have to take yours anymore. Come on, help me save some time and money. It's called cooperation, Mateo.
This isn't cooperation, so no. This is called you stealing my lunchbox.
What? You're so mean, Mateo.
Besides, I've already finished eating today.
But then what am I supposed to eat for lunch?
You're not a child, so figure it out yourself. Didn't you at least bring your wallet with you? Go buy a sandwich or something.
I already told you. I'm the single mother of 3 children, so I have to save time and money in whatever way possible. Buying a sandwich will cost me precious money. Since you didn't give me your lunchbox today, go buy me something at the cafeteria.
Huh? No, I'm not going to buy you anything at the cafeteria. Please don't contact me again about stuff unrelated to work. Bye.
What? You're not going to buy me anything at the cafeteria? You're so stingy, Mateo. I bet you wouldn't say that to your wife.
Hi, Rena. I just got out of the office and I'm on the train now.
Got it. You were able to go home at the time you were supposed to today, I see.
Yep. I decided that I wouldn't do overtime today no matter what. I was able to finish all my work right as I was supposed to leave.
Thanks for your hard work. That reminds me, were you able to eat your lunchbox today? I know that this weirdo from work's been stealing your lunchboxes recently.
Yep. Stella wasn't able to steal my lunchbox today. I spoke with my manager and told him about the situation, and he let me take my lunch break 15 minutes earlier than everyone else.
I see. That's good then. But didn't the manager try to stop Stella from stealing the lunchboxes or anything?
He did. He gave Stella a warning, but judging by these texts she's been sending me, it had no effect on her. Ugh. I can't just leave for my lunch break 15 minutes earlier than everyone else every day from now on. It's going to be inconvenient for work. Not to mention that Stella will probably just find another person to steal lunchboxes from.
I understand. So, you need to do something about the root of the problem, right? But still, she really seems to love those lunchboxes I make. This Stella is a part-time worker who joined the company a month ago, and is the single mother for 3 children, right? And it all started when you were eating lunch at the cafeteria with your colleagues, when she suddenly just took an egg roll from your lunchbox without warning?
Yeah, that happened a week ago. Suddenly, a hand reached out from behind me and stole my egg roll. It was so sudden I didn't even have time to stop her.
Wow. I can't believe those are the actions of a grown adult.
Yeah, I can't believe it either. So the day after that, she stole my lunchbox, which I put in the refrigerator. The next day, I put it in my desk with some ice packs instead so she wouldn't steal it. She still managed to take it from me while I was gone. I had gone to the toilet for a bit before our lunch break, and it was gone when I returned. This was yesterday, but today I was finally able to eat my lunch thanks to my manager letting me go on my lunch break early.
Well, she seems very determined. I guess she just really likes my cooking a lot. But I feel like she no longer wants to eat your lunchbox, but is finding pleasure in the act of stealing itself.
So that's what you think too? I think she just finds this whole situation amusing and enjoys stealing my lunchboxes, kind of like a bully from school. I wonder if there's any good solution to this.
I think the easiest thing would be to just not bring lunchboxes anymore.
I guess that's an option, but we should make that the last resort when nothing else works. It'll make me feel like we lost to her, you know?
Yep, I agree. I always loved cooking, and it was always my dream to one day be able to make lunchboxes for my husband. I don't want it to end with me not making you lunchboxes anymore. Am I just being selfish here?
No, not at all. I feel the same way. I'm not going to let her ruin my time of relaxation and enjoyment, eating the lunch my wife made for me no matter what. Anyways, I think I'll try talking to our manager again tomorrow.
Yep, I'm counting on you. Make sure she gets what she deserves.
How are you feeling, Rena?
Oh, hi, Mateo. It hurts a bit still, but I feel better than I did in the morning thanks to those pills. Sorry I'm not able to make you a lunchbox today. To think I was so excited to make you a lunchbox yesterday.
It's fine. Don't bother about it. You'll have only gotten worse if you pushed yourself too hard and made me a lunchbox.
You're right, thanks.
I think I'll go home in the afternoon today.
But isn't that going to set you back at work?
Nah, don't worry about it. Anyways, your mother came to see you today because she didn't have work, right? They're going to be leaving for a trip this weekend, so she'll probably have to leave early today for preparation.
Yeah, I guess.
I'm not that busy with work right now, so it's not going to be that big of an inconvenience if I leave home early today. Even my manager said that I could leave early so I could check on my wife. He's even letting me text you while I'm at work.
I see. If that's the case, then I'll take you up on your offer.
Alright. I'll go home as soon as I fill out the necessary papers.
Yep. Thanks, Mateo. Hi, Mateo. Where's my lunchbox for today? Where did you hide it? Tell me.
I don't have a lunchbox today.
Huh? Why not?
My wife wasn't able to make me a lunchbox today because she's sick.
Huh? Just because she's sick, she doesn't make a lunchbox anymore? This wife of yours is useless, Mateo. Then what am I supposed to eat? I'm going to have nothing to eat for lunch again because of you. This day for sure, I'm going to make you buy me lunch at the cafeteria.
Don't you dare insult my wife like that. I don't care if you got nothing to eat for lunch. I told you to figure it out yourself, alright? Today was a half day for me, and I'm currently on my way home. So no, I'm not going to buy you anything at the cafeteria either.
Huh? Why did you go home?
I'm worried about my wife, so I decided to take a leave.
What? Seriously? Your wife can't take care of herself or something?
I'm sorry, but goodbye.
Jesus. Both you and your wife are useless, it seems. Hey, Mateo. What's this lunchbox your wife made for me today? Did she want to bully me or something? So rude.
Yes? What is it you want now, Stella?
Hold on. Don't tell me that the lunchboxes up until now were made using frozen foods, and for some reason your wife, who's terrible at cooking, decided to make it from scratch today.
I'll ask you again. What in the world are you talking about?
I'm talking about today's lunchbox. The one that was underneath your desk.
I really don't understand what you're saying right now, Stella.
I said, I ate the lunchbox your wife made for you today, but the food tasted bad for some reason.
Huh?
Seriously, so that's what bad food tastes like. Are you sure your wife's taste buds are okay? What in the world were those condiments she put in there?
But I plan on eating out for the day since I'm not going to be in the office.
Huh? What do you mean you're not going to be in the office? Then whose lunchbox is this then?
I'm going to go to my clients directly from home and then go home from there as well. Bringing my lunchbox around with me would be a bit inconvenient, don't you think?
Yeah, but there was a lunchbox underneath your desk. Which means that it was the lunchbox your wife made for you, right?
Hold on. I don't think that's my lunchbox, but Rosario's lunchbox. He's the guy who sits next to me.
What? This was Rosario's lunchbox? Why the hell is it under your desk?
I'll explain it to you, but first, is your stomach feeling alright?
Huh? Why are you asking? My stomach feels fine, just thank you.
You see, I just got a text from Rosario earlier. Rosario went to work on Saturday as well, and since the company cafeteria was closed, he brought his own lunchbox. And so he put the lunchbox on the edge of his desk, but apparently he found it distracting, so he put it under my desk instead.
No, but I just ate this lunchbox earlier. I'm not talking about this Saturday, Mateo.
I haven't finished talking yet. It seems Rosario was really upset and forgot to eat lunch. By the time he was supposed to go home, he had forgotten about the lunchbox he put under my desk and went home without it.
So what you're saying is...
Yep. He says he only remembered right before today's lunch break. He said to me, I know there's a lunchbox under your desk, but it's my lunchbox that I forgot on Saturday. Just leave it, okay? It seems he was panicking a bit when he contacted me.
What? Why did you just leave something like that under your desk? Why didn't you take care of it in the morning?
I told you, I went to our clients directly from home today, and I'm going to go directly home from there as well. Weren't you listening to a word I said? And it's Rosario's day off today as well, so he couldn't have cleaned it up whether he wanted to or not.
So the lunchbox that I ate was...
Yes, it was Rosario's lunchbox, which he forgot under my desk 2 days ago. You must have thought it was mine, and as usual, tried to steal it.
Wait. Ew, that's disgusting. You just let me eat something like that? Are you trying to kill me or something?
Well, it was Rosario who left his lunchbox there for some reason. But you shouldn't be trying to eat others' lunchboxes in the first place, Stella.
Oh.
What is it?
You had to tell me that story, didn't you? And my stomach feels strange because of it.
You probably want to go see a doctor.
Where's the fucking toilet? You need to pay me an alimony. 30,000 euros minimum.
Huh? Why in the world do I have to pay you alimony?
Because I was taken away by an ambulance and hospitalized because of you. You caused me a lot of pain and distress.
How in the world is this my fault?
If you had just gone to work as you usually did, this never would have happened. I got out of the hospital yesterday, but I kept vomiting and I had diarrhea too. Pay me both an alimony and the hospitalization expenses. Also, pay me my salary for the days I wasn't able to work. Oh, and pay for my living expenses for a while too.
Apparently you said the same thing to Rosario?
Of course I did. It was also his fault for leaving his lunchbox there. I almost died, you know.
About that. When Rosario found out that I wasn't at the office, he contacted our other colleagues as well about the lunchbox he had forgotten.
Huh? What are you trying to say?
And so one of the other employees tried to throw away the inside of the lunchbox, but that's when you suddenly shoved him aside, shouting, "That's my lunchbox."
I thought that he was trying to steal the lunchbox. That's why I shoved him.
Weren't you trying to steal the lunchbox yourself? And besides, only you would think of doing such a thing. This employee wasn't you after all.
What? Are you calling me a thief or something? I told you already that I'm doing this to save time and money. I'm a single mother that has to take care of 3 children, you know. The least you could do is give me your lunchbox.
But isn't that attitude what got you in the hospital in the first place? I think that one would normally notice if the contents of a lunchbox are 2 days old by how it smells and how it looks. Why did you eat it anyways? Did you seriously not notice it was rotten?
Well, it did kind of stink when I opened it, but I just assumed that your wife's cooking was actually bad, and that everything until now was frozen food.
So you thought of all that, but you didn't consider that it was rotten. That reminds me, I heard that you were fired, Stella.
How in the world did you know that?
There was an announcement in the company chat. I thought that you were only stealing my lunchboxes, but apparently you were stealing some of the company stuff as well.
Are you judging me or something? You don't know what it's like having to raise 3 children on your own. I need to save money in any way that I can.
Yes, I don't know what it's like, but I'm sure it's a lot of work. It doesn't mean that you can steal things, though.
Don't you feel any sort of pity for me? My husband suddenly divorced me and left me with his 3 children, and now I have to take care of them on my own.
That's unfortunate, but no, I don't pity you. Maybe if you hadn't stolen my lunchboxes several days in a row, I would have.
Huh? But I only did that precisely because I was so pitiful.
And I know that you're lying to me when you say that your husband suddenly divorced you and left you with his 3 children. I heard that you actually got divorced with your husband because you cheated on him. But not only that, but the father of your children wasn't him either, and so you weren't able to receive child support from him.
How the hell do you know that?
Your parents came to the office to apologize for your actions. They told everyone at the office about your past.
Seriously? My parents came to the office? Who do they think I am? A child?
Well, it does seem like you can't find something to eat on your own, so... Anyways, your parents gave me some money as an apology for you stealing the lunchbox my wife made me. So please, don't come near me ever again.
Hold on. What about the alimony and the hospitalization fees? The hospitalization fees cost 5,000 euros, and for the alimony I'm going to make you pay 30,000 euros. You're going to pay for me and my 3 children's living expenses for the near future. I know. If you're not going to pay me the money, then take responsibility for your actions and marry me. It's a generous offer, right? All you have to do is divorce your current wife and marry me instead, and I'll forget about the alimony and hospitalization fees. All you'd have to do is provide for me and my 3 children.
Are you being serious right now? Why the hell do you think I would want to marry you?
It doesn't matter what you want. You have to pay for what you did to me by marrying me and providing for me and my children.
Absolutely not. Goodbye. It seems my wife understood, though. My wife was next to me while me and Stella were having this conversation by text. And when Stella told me to marry her, my wife said, I was right all along. I asked her what she meant, and she said that Stella probably fell in love with me, and so stole the lunchboxes that Rena made for me because she viewed my wife as an enemy and rival. I unconsciously grimaced and said, ew, when she told me that. Stella, on the other hand, was forced to go home to her parents along with her 3 children. At a later date, the company asked her to pay for the damages she had caused stealing stuff. It was only 1 month since she had joined the company before she left, but as you can tell from the bill, 50,000 euros, Stella messed up real bad. It seems like she's now working from day to night every day. But since almost all of this goes to her payment of the alimony and damage costs, she has no money to spend on her own appearance. Apparently, she was seen going to work with clothes that looked like they were 30 years old one time.
Hannah, when are you going to be quitting that job of yours? What's that? Hello, Sandy. Why are you asking me when I'll quit my job? I'm sure you're just working that job so that you have enough money to spend all you want on fancy things, right? Not really. I'm just working because I want to save money for the future, and I also happen to really like the kind of work I do. But it's not okay for a woman like you to be working, so quit that job at once. It's not okay for a woman like me? Right now is the best time for my husband and I to both be working at the same time. I'm not saying that I don't want to become a housewife at some point, but Robin and I both talked about this before we got married, and we decided it would be best that we both work full-time jobs so that we have enough money for the future. That's why at this point in time, it's not an option for me to be quitting my job. Hannah, oh, listen to me. The way you're speaking to me right there is really showing me how self-centered you really are deep down. Self-centered? Do you have a problem with the money your husband is making, and that's why you're choosing to work still? I never said I had any issues with his income. Well, then please quit that job. Quit that job right now and become his housewife. I cannot do that right now. If you go against my word here, you are making yourself look worse and worse. So you're telling me the only way to look good as Robin's wife is to become a housewife? That's right. Now stop asking me questions to the obvious. By the way, have you talked with Robin himself about how you view me working this job? I don't have to go and talk with him about it because he already knows. That young man came from a house where his mother was a housewife and took care of the home. So he knows exactly what I want out of his wife, and he expects you to become that way. Right now, he should be thinking about all the things he could be having you do for him as his housewife. I'm sure of that. You think so? Well, no matter what else you have to say to me, I'm going to have a word with Robin before making any decisions. Please allow me some time to talk with him.
Hannah? I just finished up work and am on the bus home.
I hope you had a good day today, Robin.
Hey, listen. Did you really have a conversation with my mom today about quitting your job?
What?
When I had a look at my phone after work, I saw that my mom had texted me saying that she spoke to you about it.
Wait. We did talk about it, but it was a one-sided conversation with her just telling me over and over to quit my job. I was trying to get her to understand that you and I both agreed to work, but she just wouldn't have it. So in the end, I said to her that I'd have to speak with you before making any final decisions.
What the heck? So that's what happened there. She was making it seem as though you were going to quit your job and there was no changing your mind about it. And that led me to wondering about what had happened that made you change your mind about everything so suddenly.
Sorry if this got you all worked up in any way. I had started to talk with your mom while I was on break at work, but I couldn't speak with her for very long because it was towards the end of my break. So I was going to have a word with you at home first and then get back in touch again with her to talk.
But why did my mom end up sending me this text making it sound as though you're going to quit?
Because your mom seems to think that you want the same thing as her, that being me quitting my job and becoming your housewife.
What?
When she said that to me, I told her that I'd have to talk with you first before deciding what to do next. She must be expecting you to think the same thing as her and say no to me working a job any longer. And that's why she made it seem as though I already was going to quit. Understand?
Yeah, I understand. But I can't believe this. Can you show me those texts from her later on? If it seems things aren't going to get any better, I'm going to have to get my dad involved and have him take care of my mom.
Do you feel as though your mom is more serious about this than I thought?
That depends on what she's said to you. If I have the chance, I want my dad to take a look at those texts from her as well.
Your dad as well?
Recently, my dad has seemed pretty worried about something. I still haven't really talked with him about anything, but the last time I was over at my parents' house, he had this expression on his face like he had something he wanted to tell me.
I see. I'll have all these messages from her printed out so that you can take them over to your dad.
Thank you, Hannah. That would help me out a lot. Hannah? I had a talk with my dad.
Hey, Robin. How did that talk go?
This is what my dad had to say about the whole you and I both working jobs while being husband and wife thing. He says that the only reason why my mom would be so against it is because when she married my dad, she was very young and never had a chance to start working. She kind of forced his hand in letting her become a housewife. But that was only possible because he received a promotion around that time and made decent money. Had my dad been closer to my mom's age when getting married, she most definitely would have been working a job as well.
Now that you mention it, your mom never really worked anywhere before she became a housewife, right?
That's what it sounds like. I've even heard that she never worked a part-time job before.
I see. I have something to say, by the way. I'm not saying I want to quit my job or anything, but I've thought of something.
And that is?
It's about how I work from here on out.
Ah, you're bringing back up what you and I talked about a while back.
So you remember that then?
Well, of course I do. I think what you have in mind is totally fine. Things have only become more stable since then, and since that's something you've always had on your mind, I think this is the perfect time for it.
Thank you, Robin.
Anyway, my dad thinks Mom is very serious about having you quit your job and become a housewife. When I get home later, we can talk more about that in detail. I'll make sure to be home when you get home from work.
All right, sounds good. Hannah, have you still not quit your job yet? What? This is about what we had talked about 2 weeks ago. Didn't you say you were going to talk with Robin about it? He thinks the exact same thing as I do on this subject, and that means he should have told you that if you don't quit your job soon, he's going to divorce you. You really think so? Well, I wouldn't want to be divorced, so I'm going to go ahead and quit my company job. Good, good, good. Oh, thank you for going ahead and doing that. And from now on, don't you ever go against my word again. But consider this the end of your monthly allowance from us. What? What are you talking about? What allowance?
Mom, allow me to explain this monthly allowance that had just been brought up to you.
Robin, tell me right now what Hannah was talking about.
A little while ago, I was talking with Dad when he told me that things were not going too well at your guys' house, and he asked for our help. So, myself and Hannah decided that starting this month, we'd be sending him $700 a month in order to help out with your guys' financial situation there.
I never heard about any of that.
Dad told me he talked with you about it, but you kept dozing off and acting like he wasn't being serious.
But why? Why would he need...
Because you and all your terrible spending habits have been destroying all the money Dad has worked tirelessly to save up.
What?
Dad had said that his package from the company he'd been with was pretty large, and that he also would be getting retirement funds every year thereafter. And yes, I understand that he was making a decent living in that company, and at the time he was working, he could afford to deal with your spending. But now that he's retired, there isn't that constant flow of money anymore, and all he has are his savings and his retirement. Yet you never listened to him when he spoke to you about cutting back on spending all his money, and now things have gotten worse. Dad had come to us with great shame because he felt embarrassed to be asking his son and his son's wife for financial help.
But he should still have a lot of other money in his retirement funds.
And that was all money he wanted to keep around until you guys both became really old and needed the money for medical bills and such. But ever since he retired from his job, he's watched as that money slowly started to drain away at your hands.
What?
Dad had showed me all of his accounts and the transaction history for all of them. And from what I could tell, the credit card transactions were quite frequent, and taking more out of his accounts than he had. When you think about the kind of money one would want as they're in the later stages of their life, what remains in there is too small of an amount.
Oh, there's no way.
To be honest, I think Dad has been too kind to you. If he'd really wanted to stop you from spending all that money, he could have shut off all your credit cards or asked the bank to change his PIN number. There were plenty of things he could have done to stop you. But he didn't do anything and had to come out to his son and son's wife to ask for help. That's why I went ahead and told him. I went ahead and told him that he needed to get a grip on his wife because there should be no reason you're telling my wife not to work a job when it's her job that's giving you guys money. With just my income alone, Hannah and I would be living on the edge, just barely having enough to play with. But if I had to start sending you guys $700 as well, I wouldn't be able to support myself and Hannah anymore. And I'm not kidding when I say that either. Because we wouldn't only not be able to save any money on my income then, but we literally would not be able to buy food or pay all the house's bills. Do you understand what I'm saying, Mom? Because I had to go and tell Dad that already.
What?
When I said that to him, he was shocked. He had no idea that you were trying to get Hannah to quit her job that badly. Then I went and showed him all the messages you were sending to Hannah a while back.
What? You went and showed him all those messages?
Yes, and even the messages you were sending her just a second ago.
Wait, does that mean he's with you right now?
Yup. And now that he's seen so much of what you've done, he's finally come around to understanding just how badly he's spoiled you. And that's why he's telling me right now that we don't have to send an allowance after all.
What?
Therefore, if you don't stop those bad spending habits of yours, there will be hell to pay. And Dad most definitely will not be helping you there.
Hell to pay?
You should understand more than anyone what I mean by that. All I have left to say is that you'd better start thinking about a way to stop those bad habits of yours, or else...
My bad habits?
That's right. I don't want you whining to Hannah or myself later about her not leaving her job like you'd been asking. So I'll let you know this now. Hannah really has gone and quit her company job.
What?
But that doesn't mean she'll be coming home to be my housewife. Hannah had been trying to run her own side hustle for a while now, but wasn't making a whole lot of money off it, and so she had to keep with her company job. But since it's been a while now and she's saved up a lot of money from her company job, she can now leave that job and work full-time doing the side hustle.
She had a side hustle? How much is she making now?
Ever since she started to go big with that side hustle, she's been making more than me.
What was that? She's making more than her own husband.
Are you aware now why her and I decided that we'd both continue to work even after getting married?
Are you really okay with her making more than you? Do you know what others will start to say about you when they hear that you have to have your wife working as well and making more than you to live?
I'm not sure where you've been getting your news from, Mom, but in this day and age, it's normal for married couples to both be working. I think you should be ridiculed more than anything else for saying something like that.
But...
Dad is getting ready to head back home now. You'd better be all ears for what he has to say.
Robin! Your father's gone and divorced me!
Right. I heard about that already. He yelled at you saying he'd had enough, right? And I thought you had finally learned your lesson a couple of days ago. You bought 3 neckties online, each costing $1,000?
Yeah, that's right. I was told to fix my bad spending habits, right? So I thought about them for a bit, and that's when I thought to myself, what you all meant is for me to spend a little bit more on your father from now on. So I was thinking something useful, like a necktie.
Something useful like a necktie? Aren't you aware that Dad is retired now and won't really be using things like neckties anymore? Jesus Christ, Mom. That wasn't even what Dad and I meant when we told you to rethink your spending habits.
What? That wasn't what you both meant?
I have no idea what to do with you anymore.
Then what did you both mean?
Dad wanted you to think of all that by yourself with the hopes you'd figure it out. So I'm not going to give you the answer.
Robin!
The divorce has already happened, right? Well then, this is the perfect time for us to cut ties as well.
Why would you want that?
Because I want to protect my wife.
Why do you think I'd be of any danger to her?
There have already been plenty of reasons as to why, so stop asking.
What are you talking about, Robin?
Just think about it. Anyway, goodbye forever.
Robin! My father-in-law took all the credit cards he had given Sandy away from her and was going to watch and see if that helped with her poor spending habits. However, just 2 days after doing so, 3 neckties arrived in the mail that she had ordered online with his saved credit card information. She had all of those credit cards saved to her phone and on all of those online stores and could access them at any time. Realizing that there was really no helping the woman, he went and had her sign the divorce papers before taking them to the courthouse all in the same day. He made sure to contact a moving company to get all of his things from the house and is now living with Robin and I at our place. He told us that he'd have the house sold soon and would use that money, along with whatever he had left in his savings, to move someplace else. But neither Robin or I want him living on his own, so we've told him to sell the house and use the money on things he wants while staying with us. And by the way, when I say that he came to live in our house, he did so without ever telling Sandy anything about what he was doing or where he was going. And so when Sandy tried to go and find him, she was not able to find her answer of where he had moved to. We all still feared that at some point she'd learn his whereabouts, and so we called Sandy's little brother, told him about what all had happened, and the next day he was at her house taking her away to go work for his company. Right now we've been told that she's working a 9-to-5 at her little brother's call center and living at home with him and his wife while crying and whining all the time. She is planning on moving out of there soon. When that happens, I think even her brother will cut ties to her, putting an end to her reign of terror within our families. Thank you for watching and listening. We hope you enjoyed the video. Don't forget to like this video and subscribe. Also, feel free to leave a comment about what you thought of the story. We look forward to seeing you at the next story.